So you've never done a podcast before?
I sort of have.
Yeah.
I was on the Wade Wilkes show. Then forgot the gentleman's name. They had me over a few times, not a lot, but not in this setting.
Okay.
Like an actual studio I did.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So thank you for being on here.
Thanks for having me.
I guess my audience is more like 25 to 35-year-old men.
Sure.
So that's who we're going to be kind of talking to.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know which way they swing politically, but you are running for United States Senate.
Yes, sir.
All right. I guess what made you decide to do that?
Great question. So firstly, my primary reason for running is term limits. We are a country of, for, by the people. We're not a monarchy. We're not a dictatorship.
We're not a fascist state.
There you go. And any political office is not anybody's personal property. So I believe our United States congressmen, United States senators should not be there for more than 12 years. If it's U.S. Senate only, it's not more than 2 terms, which is 12 years. And if it's United States House of Representatives, it should not be more than 6 terms, which is 12 years. Or even if they combine the both, it should not be more than 12 years. So people like, so our current United States Senator has been in the office for 24 years. I think that's a lot of time. And if one is a true leader at this point, I think somebody of that stature with that much experience needs to step aside and mentor younger future leaders. And you mentioned your target audience to be primarily 25 to 35 years. So if something like this happens, if we have a law where we have term limits intact, that will inspire that age group to also maybe run for offices down the line. So that's my main reason I'm running.
Yeah, because I put out on Instagram and Facebook, what should we talk about? And literally, that's what everybody brought up, term limits.
Sure.
So why isn't there a law that limits terms right now?
Well, this is how our framers had set it up initially. And we've had so many constitutional amendments down the line. And there are a lot of legislators at our federal level, even our current congressman who recently announced his that he won't seek re-election, Congressman Jody Arrington. From day one, he was first elected in 2016. So he's been promoting term limits. So this is his 10th year or 5th term, and he won't even seek a 6th term. So we need leaders like that. Why it's not, I don't think it has reached on the floor for vote yet, or if it did not have enough majority. But I think if more legislators, they push for it, I wouldn't be surprised down the line it becomes a law.
I hope it does. I think a lot of us are. I see a lot of people vocal about that. It's very important, I guess, to the younger people.
Absolutely.
It gets a little weird when you're in there too long.
Absolutely, especially, our country is a country of laws. Again, it's equal opportunity for everybody. Somebody who's law-abiding, hardworking, has a passion for public service. This is a great platform for them to address the key issues which they are seeing. And plus, politicians who've been in the top for 20 plus years, they are so much disconnected with the grassroots because they've been there for so long. They deal with a totally different population. They're more of dealing with all those billionaires. But what's happening at the grassroots level? For example, I co-own a healthcare company, American Star Home Health and Hospice Care. The gaps I see in rural health, especially geriatric population, they need to be fixed. They have not been addressed for decades. Will a person on the top for over 20 years or 30 years, would he or she know those problems? Probably not. I see those on a daily basis. I've been in healthcare for over 15 years now. What happens to a patient who needs palliative care in Opdyke, West Texas, where there's no reimbursement for palliative care by either Medicare or any other insurance companies for the agency. So if an agency is rich enough who can bear the cost to hire a physician, nurse practitioner, social worker, chaplain, all those positions, and don't expect to get paid a dime, only then they can take it. And it doesn't happen like this. So this is just one of the examples.
Well, let's talk about this. Because I've been blessed. I haven't had to go to the hospital. Right. I got out of healthcare, my parents' healthcare, and when I was 26, I think.
Right.
That's the age, right? I got lucky.
Right.
But one of the things I hear again is healthcare.
Right.
People talk about it's expensive. We should all have free healthcare. What's going on? Can you educate me on
Yes,
all of it, pretty much?
Absolutely. So So our company deals with geriatric population, primarily 65 and above, and all of us. You're very young, and most of the people I've met, even in your groups, they're much younger age group. There's disconnect when it's not a geriatric patient, like a average workforce American, right? The premiums we are paying, they're pretty high. The deductible cost is very high. The cost to see a doctor is high. To get a procedure done, for example, I'd had to have a simple abdomen CT scan. So my doctor wanted it done, my primary care physician, in April. So I finally got everything approved. It was done last month. So I had to wait so much, go through so much bureaucratic structure within my health insurance.
Even though you're in that field?
Even though I'm in that field, I've been over 15 years. I know all these physicians.
Yeah.
My family member, my uncle is a physician in town, Dr. Sabar, and I'm running for United States Senate. So I had to go through so many channels, and initially they canceled it, and then somehow I made it work, but it wasn't a smooth process. This is just an example. So what we are, I'll use example of primary care physicians. Physicians these days, when we go to a doctor's office for routine checkup or annual checkup, you'll see a lot of volume of patients. This is because the reimbursement the physicians are getting, internal medicine, family medicine, primary care, that does not justify their operational cost. So physicians, by and large, have a lot of volume of patients so that they can get enough reimbursement based on the treatment or the visits they provide, that they are able to sustain more staff, more nurses, but that's not happening. So therefore, reimbursement of what physicians get or home-based care like us, we are getting, for example, from Medicare Advantage plans, does not justify the care we provide. For example, if we were to we are approved for taking traditional Medicare patients for home health care and Medicare Advantage plan patients, if Medicare Advantage is the primary. All these Medicare Advantage plans do not pay enough per visit where we can hire full-time nurses. And at the same time, it's hard to get traditional Medicare patients enough. Just an example. I don't want to get into much detail. Just try to simplify it. So the cost of healthcare is high for everybody in general. President Trump talks about cutting the middleman. So we can reduce the cost of prescription drugs, healthcare in general. But most of these top 5-6 companies, healthcare companies, they are the key players. And one of the healthcare companies recently hired a new CEO with annual base salary of $51 million. I believe if all these top healthcare HMO company CEOs or top management, they practice some kind of patriotism. Maybe 10% pay cut. 50 instead of 50 million, take 45 million. I think that'll just an example, just a simple solution. That money can be utilized to provide better care and more coverage and less premiums and less deductibles for healthcare in general.
So it's just more and more bureaucracy. This is what I'm hearing. More and more bureaucracy and people getting their money. Is this kind of the issue?
Yeah,
that got a lot of America in this. All the issues America's facing, almost sounds like to me.
Yes. And even there are a lot of misconceptions about Obamacare. They say it's affordable care. I know people who are on Obamacare. First of all, you don't get your in-network doctor. So chances are the doctor you've been going to for the last 30 years, and let's say you have Obamacare, that will not be your physician. And you get, I talked to one of my primary care physician friends, and he told me that you get only 2 covered visits per year if somebody has Obamacare. After that, you're not covered. So the point is, it's our healthcare system, healthcare in general in the United States and Texas too, including, it needs restructuring. So if you look at the ballot, the other guys running for this position with me in the Republican primary, none of them have this kind of healthcare experience. So my healthcare reform is not Affordable Care Act and government is doing greatly for rural health. No, it's my way because I know the ins and outs. I know where the gaps are. If we have to send our nurse for a home health visit to La Mesa, Texas, so we pay X amount of dollars for mileage reimbursement, plus there's an industry standard rate you have to pay the nurses if they admit a patient or recertify a patient, discharge a patient. But the per visit reimbursement our industry gets is probably 60% of that. So basically, if a HMO company, a Medicare Advantage plan is paying me $100 a visit, my expense is $180 or $90 a visit. So what's going to happen? It's not about my profitability or not, or agencies. End of the day, those patients will not be taken by any home-based agencies. So those patients will not get the required health care. So they'll be stranded. And this has happened a lot, especially during COVID and the years 2021, 2022.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Dang, so this is something that's important to you with running
extremely important. Excuse me. Yeah, because most of my work experience in the United States workforce has been healthcare.
And it sounds like, in my experience, from what I've learned, is everything up top in Washington moves very slow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're limiting term limits, how do you get these issues pushed that you believe in? Like, what if it takes longer than the term limits that you're in? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like this would take a long time to...
See, first of all, one has to have an intent.
Yeah.
And see, my main reason I lose money, I just luckily have good business partners. I lose money whenever I ran for mayor of Lubbock. I ran for U.S. House of Representatives in Republican primary last year from District 32, Dallas, Denton, Collin counties. So every time I run for a public office, it takes me away from my business, and it affects my business, and it affects our revenues. So firstly, I'm not doing it for money, because as a business, we can make much more money than a salary of a United States legislator. But, being an immigrant American, this is my gratitude to our great nation that if I see something not taken care of, see, change in a constitutional republic and a democracy like ours can happen only in one way: when a bill becomes a law, right? Constitutionally, with a stroke of a pen. So when I'm aware of all these gaps, let's start with healthcare, and they're not being addressed. Maybe the people at the top don't even know what the real problems are. So it's my moral, conscientious, and patriotic duty to step up and address it. And how can I address it? Run for an office, because that'll provide me with the platform where my voice can be heard at the top level. To your question, term limits. Yes, not having term limits has affected our country negatively, impacted our country a lot. Example, Joe Biden. So before he became vice president under Obama, he was our president 21 through 24. He was like 40 plus years as a U.S. senator. So imagine if term limits were intact decades ago, he may not even have been a senator for that long. And who knows, he may not even have been our president. And his presidency gave us the worst inflation, like around 10%, first time in 40 years. So economically, it was a very huge impact on Americans. Look at Chuck Schumer. Luckily we got done with the shutdown. But Schumer has been, U.S. Senator for 50 years. We may not even have had the Schumer shutdown and all these people losing their paycheck, federal employees especially, and all the institutions, our payments, reimbursement payments for the patients we took care of, they got delayed. Medicare payments got delayed because of the government shutdown. This is one of the examples. So my point is, I'll be proactive. I'll be aggressive. I don't mind going to the other side of the aisle and forming coalitions and partnerships to emphasize the need for term limits. And I believe when you have the intent, when you have, when you care more about your grassroots, your constituents, rather than making your billionaire friends happy, things can get done.
I think I saw on your Facebook today that you don't take money. I think you said that, right? You don't take money from billionaires.
Right. First of all, I don't have those kind of friends anyways.
I'm just saying because I think I firmly believe in these next few elections, in the major ones, a lot of us are going to be like, who are you getting money from?
Right.
I think that's like a lot of people are going to vote based on where that money's coming from. So I mean, I've talked to a few people running for, I think, representative at a state level, but still they're like, we don't take money from these billionaires. And I think that's important. That is a very important thing.
That is important. I mean, because I'm not in this race to further their specific interests. Again, it's my voice of conscience. Healthcare needs improvement. There need to be term limits. We need to continue supporting President Trump's economic policies, and especially reciprocal tariffs. In fact, my book was out recently. It's on Amazon and Audible. It's called America First Again. The subtitle is How President Trump's 2025 Reciprocal Tariffs Will Positively Impact the U.S. Economy in the Long Run. I have researched on it a lot ever since he announced it initially when he was still a candidate for this election. It enhances reshoring. It facilitates manufacturing within America, be it AI or steel or automotive, and leads to hundreds or thousands of jobs, which eventually leads to a lot of economic prosperity. But it'll take some time. So my point is, I'm running for all these issues and supporting our law enforcement, supporting our teachers and teachers' assistants, supporting our education reform, strong borders, effective foreign policy, peace through strength, protecting our constitutional rights, especially Second Amendment, pro-life. Only biological men play in. They play in men's sport only, not in women's sport. So
that's crazy. That's controversial.
I know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things I want to talk that you've mentioned.
Right.
Again, on the tariff things. Correct me if I'm wrong. What I thought was we weren't being. It wasn't fair.
Right.
So he's just trying to make it fair for everybody. Like we were kind of being screwed over by all these countries in terms of tariffs. So he was just trying to even it. Is that what kind of happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have simplified it.
Yeah.
Roy. That's what it narrows down to. So for decades, we have been taken advantage of when it comes to trade. That's why we have all these trade deficits. For example, what an American company pays to do business in China, plus share our intellectual properties, share our technology with them, is way higher than what we had been charging them when they did business in the United States. So I have mentioned in my book too, these Rust Belt, Midwest, these states, you'll be surprised to know in the past several years, so many, our manufacturing especially was taken out of United States to other countries like Philippines and Thailand and China. So many of our fellow Americans, they're to the tune of thousands, have lost their livelihoods, jobs. That those towns are ghost towns now.
I've heard, ghost towns.
Yeah, they're deserted. They have been devastated. So the term I have used in my book is called Patriot Premium. If you love your country enough, you should be able to. We've already, ever since President Trump implemented reciprocal tariffs, April 2nd, Liberation Day, we have about $20 trillion invested in the United States.
I've seen a lot of that, yeah.
Yes.
More and more.
Yeah. So it creates a level playing field. I mean, we were, when President Trump was elected president for the very first time in 2016, we were paying 33% of United Nations annual budget. All that, when Joe Biden had us leave Afghanistan abruptly, the ammunition there is like $82 billion worth. So all this money, all these big amounts, this is our money, your money, my money, taxpayer dollars. So our businesses were getting the short end of the stick, and you use the word fair. The field was not leveled. Now it's a level playing field. And it's not that, I don't think other countries should have anything against it, because all along they were the ones charging us high tariffs. So now it's an equal field.
Yeah, is this what I heard about the stimulus, the 2000? Because the comes from that, the money.
Yeah.
That we
So
made?
according to President Trump, the dividends we are getting on the $20 trillion invested in the United States through reciprocal tariffs, and there'll be more. So we will be hopefully able to get $2,000 a piece.
That'd be nice.
That'll be nice. And that's a good economic policy.
Talk to me about protecting our constitutional rights.
Right.
I, for one, have one, and that's freedom of speech.
Right.
I will harp on that forever.
Right.
Hell, I would die for that damn right, actually.
Right.
Like, how do we... Okay, how can government help protect me from the government, if you will?
Right.
I don't want government telling me who I can and can't podcast with, ever.
Right.
Or what I can and can't say, ever.
See, we are the greatest nation ever. I can guarantee you. I was 20 years old when I came here. I'm 45 now. So I have seen America from outside. And from outside, let me share this with you, Roy. America to the rest of the world seems like an invincible, like great planet, like the perfect place, richest, strongest. We are number one in technology, medicine, science, media, human rights, freedom of speech. What we have here, you just mentioned First Amendment. It is nowhere else. There's still some countries, many countries in this world, where they don't allow English to be taught in schools because that will lead to enlightenment. And if that happens, they will ask for their rights. There's still several countries in this world where women, if they want to go to school, they can lose their lives. So we became the richest nation ever, the highest GDP. We're 30 trillion right now, approximately, in 1871. And we have been the country with the highest GDP consecutively 154 years in a row.
Nice.
So one of the main reasons is freedom to do anything. Again, if you are law-abiding, if you are hardworking, sky's the limit. I was born and raised in India, blessed to be an American. But the way I talk, the way I look, has nothing to do, nothing to do with the endless opportunities I continue to get in this great country. So one of the main reasons is freedom of speech. I believe that we need to continue to stand up for our rights, speak for what is right, which you are doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And continue to elect conservative leaders, true conservative leaders. And our foundation, our country was founded upon these conservative ideals of freedom and liberty and limited government, free market, enterprise, capitalistic structure. So I believe if you combine all that, our First Amendment rights will continue to stay intact.
It's worth fighting for.
Absolutely. So that's why my encouragement to everybody and people who do not pay attention to politics. I'm not going to say I like politics. I like policy. And at the same time, anybody who cares for their community, their society, their state, their nation, they're political. Again, the only way you can bring about change is when a bill becomes a law in an educated society like ours. Not to elect socialist or communist leaders, because if that continues, we may not have that constitutional right anymore. So this is a very serious time.
What do you think is so appealing about these socialist and communist people getting elected? We saw in New York. Because I still believe some places. I know here voting is pretty fair. I would like to believe everywhere else voting is still like if you want to vote for a goddamn communist, then you can. I was actually going to wear one of those shirts, but why are people so? What about it do you think that people are like?
I'll use an example. It's a very simple answer, and it's very unfortunate. So I ran for U.S. House of Representatives last year. So I campaigned 2023. Election was March 5th, 2024. It's a federal election, so one can run from a different congressional district where they don't live. They cannot vote for themselves. So I've always lived in Lubbock, District 19. That was District 32. So I would go 1 weekend a month, like summer 23 onward, and campaign. they ended up electing a congresswoman who's from the Democrat Party and who's a champion, known to be champion of LGBTQ rights. She's anti-pro-life. And you'll be surprised, a lot of people who are conservative in family values, they're like immigrant Americans. A lot of people who are native-born Americans who assumed they were Democrat. When I met them after the election, they were surprised to know that she stood for all those like LGBT champions. They said, "Oh, we didn't even know." I said, "Come on, man, y'all are highly educated. You're physicians, engineers, business owners, very successful here, and you did not even research." So a lot of people have a misconception that Democrat Party is takes care of diversity better than Republican Party. But that's not the case. First of all, it's a misconception they have. So the Democrats use that as an advantage to muster a lot of votes. So basically, they exploited their ignorance.
I saw that as disrespectful in the 2024 election because it was the first time I voted.
Okay.
And I felt that, like, if this is the same thing you're saying, I felt like they were like, "You're Mexican. You got to vote. Why are you voting for Trump? You should be a Democrat just because you're Mexican." And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Sorry, respectfully. Is that what you mean, though? It's like they exploit this minority, whatever.
See, the thing is, minorities, there are a lot of Indian Americans in Dallas area who did not vote for me. And they are pro-life. And because where we come from, South Asia, Middle East, very family and moral values, we're way more conservative. But first of all, they did not know. And I was, when President Trump won, November last year, we had a watch party at Hillcrest Country Club, the whole Republican Party. So right after, I have friends in media in India. So it was daytime there. They did a live, Indian channels did a live Zoom interview with me. And they had the same misconception. They said, "Gus, we have heard that Republican Party is not a lot of minorities." I said, "No, you're totally wrong. It's a very mixed party." And in fact, I said when I got elected as national delegate last year, we got to meet President Trump. I'm in a huge percentage of elected national delegates. They were from the minority groups. And there's a lot of diversity in the party. It's just you won't know, people won't know until they get into some local Republican chapter. They get involved with the local Republican, county Republican Party, or the conservative groups in their cities, in their counties. So this is I agree with you, it's unfortunate, it's a total misconception. And the Democrats, when I ran, exploited that. Voters were ignorant. I believe they need to research more, dig into the candidate's record and what the candidate stands for, and then be involved. And a lot of people said, "Hey, Gus, why are you even running? I mean, just focus on your business." I said, "No, tomorrow when the gas, these are the same people who said that, like, morally they were conservative. They did not know they were Republican, who probably did not vote for President Trump or the Republican Party. And when they complain about high grocery prices and gas prices, I said, why are you complaining now? I mean, we had the right candidate, right president, and his main thing was to make our economy better, and you did not elect him. So don't complain about these things when you do not want to involve yourself in the political process. You don't vote. You discourage people from running who are already running. I believe it's more of taking keen interest in policy, what's happening in our city, state, national legislature, and not take our freedoms for granted, because we are the only country ever to have these kind of privileges and freedoms. I believe everybody needs to be. Everybody who cares, who's patriotic, is political. And they should take some time, make room to learn about our legislative political process.
Yeah, how do we get in a free and open society where we can do whatever the hell we want? How do we get people involved or enough to care? At least, in my opinion, register to vote. Go and at least pay attention on a local level.
Right. You know, with the Lubbock County Republican Party, this is my third term as precinct chair. And so I won't be, when I get on the actual ballot, you cannot do that since I'm running for this office. They have a great role. Precinct chairs is the first grassroots level appointed or elected position. And as far as I know, our party in 2020, we were involved in a program. We registered 250,000 new Republican voters in 2020 throughout the state of Texas. So it's a big program. It's state-based. So we were one of the chapters. I believe precinct chairs can do a great job, continue to do a great job. And wherever you are in your neighborhood, any other setting, or you're part of some some kind of club, like sports club or something, I believe one should not be shy of discussing these things. At work, I understand it's different, your business. But other than that, when people say, oh, we don't want to talk about politics, no. The policies, the bills that become a law passed today are going to affect our day-to-day lives and our future generations. So I believe everyone should be participative and be proactive about it.
Do you think the media does a good job making us not be proactive?
See, that again narrows down to education. Depends on, firstly, what channels they watch. You know, a lot of them, like President Trump says, you know, the liberal-leaning channels, fake media, they need to follow both sides in media and from their own perspective and educate themselves to... I believe in the power of dialogue. I've been known to, even when I ran for mayor and for Congress, even amongst my co-competitors, I never hit my opponents below the belt. I'm more about doing the research, data, fact-based, evidence-based. In fact, I remember I used to have a big binder when I ran for mayor in 2022. So campaign was in 21. I remember I was being, the mayoral candidates were being interviewed by Lubbock Apartment Association. Like 10 people, and I had a huge binder with all the data and stuff. So after the interview, so one of the interviewers asked me, Gus, what's this binder? I said, whosoever learns, whatever is in this binder will be the next mayor of Lubbock. Because it was every statement, every debate, when I said something, it was data backed. So I believe in the power of preparation, research, reading, learning, And I would encourage people to do that as well when it comes to media. They have to do their own research and take interest in the fact that, again, and I said it during my speech when I got elected as national delegate, this is the greatest blessing. In one lifetime, I get to call myself an American. There's nothing more spectacular than this.
I wish more people were like you. I say this all the time, but I'm not even, I'm like fifth generation from here.
Wow.
Like, I'm Mexican, come from that, but I think my family's been here forever, but still I'm like, how lucky. I've only been to one other country, and that was this year. So I'm like, how lucky am I to be an American and to speak freely, to love freely, with limits, adults, consenting adults. I get to choose my religion. I get to, I can go do this job if I worked really hard. I can go do this job if I can have long hair. I'm like, damn, how lucky am I? How lucky are we all to be Americans? And if I wanted to talk shit about Trump or Biden, I can do it.
Right.
I wish more people were like this. I don't know. I don't know why they're not, man. It's crazy.
Well,
like patriotism, man. Gosh.
Let me share this with you. I come from a family of physicians. Like I said, my uncle, Dr. Sabar, he's a physician with Covenant Hospital here. My dad, Dr. Gocha, in India, he's retired now. He was physician for the state health services. I've always, God has blessed us with, good values, and we always had whatever we needed to be successful. I must share with you that, and with everybody who feels differently living in America, and they feel differently about America. And I see on media, a lot of them are so frustrated that they want to leave America. They're not happy here. A lot of celebrities. I was appalled. And I'm pretty vocal about it. Normally, I'm a very, statesman-like kind of personality guy. But I wrote on their social media, I said, if you don't like it here, get out. Like I said earlier, God's greatest blessing, I believe, is to have someone been born in the United States of America. I wish I was born here. I would be running for president by now.
Yeah.
I would be a billionaire, either a billionaire or running for president of the United States, or back in India in my teens, there's a sport called cricket, flat bat baseball.
It's starting to come around here.
Yeah, so I played in my teens on India's nationwide cricket tour. So I'm a pro former athlete. And since 2005, I've been playing a lot of golf. In fact, I've competed in 3 United States Open local golf qualifiers.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So my point is, yes.
You have a swing.
I get lucky every now and then with my swing. My point of sharing all this is, it's not that anything great about me. It's the greatness of our great nation, America. That if you are law-abiding, if you love America, if you're hardworking, America is the only system where you can aim for the stars and do reach them. Because of our foundational values of freedom and liberty, equal opportunity, limited government, constitutional republic, free market structure, not socialism or communism or a dictatorship or a monarchy. How many examples have you seen like mine in Russia? Imagine if I was running for this office in Russia, they would have probably, I would not be existing by now. And I believe the best part about America, on top of our foundational values, foundational principles, as you all, the native-born Americans, the most accepting, most tolerant, and if somebody has the fire in their belly, and your fellow Americans help you reach your God-given destiny. And the world is 8 billion people, 8,000 million. Roy, we are the chosen 350 million. In fact, y'all are the more chosen ones because you were born here. You're part of those 300 exceptionally privileged people. And you know how many more want to come to the United States? The remaining 7,500 million. Everybody wants to come to America. So people talk to me, look, Gus, China is catching up with America, $20 trillion economy. I tell them, how many people from America, native-born Americans, have you seen get into Nepal and trying to cross the border of China illegally to live in China to make a living? None. We have been, this magical place called America, before 1776, there was not America. And in times to come, there will never be another America. It's such a almost unreal place because anything is possible here. Look, I'm running a business. I'm running for United States Senate. 20, almost quarter of a century being in America. When I wake up in the morning, I still pinch myself, look up and thank God that in one lifetime, I said, thank God, I can call myself an American and I can call you all my fellow Americans.
You can call yourself an honorary Texan.
Honorary Texan, yes, yes. And I say in my speeches, all my conservative friends know that I really do not appreciate people who kneel down to our national anthem, disrespect our flag. And I openly tell them, hey, if you don't like it, get out. Somebody like me sitting here as a U.S. Senate candidate, my story is possible nowhere else. Germany, China, Russia, Poland, nowhere else. Only in one magical, blessed place, the land of promise, the land of opportunity, the land of abundance, the United States of America. And people who say let me put it this way, discrimination and racism begin when you step outside of America. And people who say it's discrimination and racism, they haven't seen anything yet.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. It's a beautiful, beautiful magic. I'm with you. I love this fucking place. I'd die for it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love it. We got to protect it, man. Now, let me ask you this, though, because we're talking about you're an immigrant.
Right.
Some of my family. So what does your immigration policy look like? What does that look like? So, how do we...
Yeah. Like our Republican leaders say and President Trump say, nobody's stopping anybody from coming to America. It's indeed land of opportunity, land of success, land of abundance. But come here legally, get educated. Look at most of the Fortune 500 CEOs. They're legal immigrant Americans. Look at Google. Look at Microsoft. Look at all these top companies. I think the chief of World Bank or IMF is an Indian American. Nice. Excuse me. So, legally coming here and assimilating in the American culture and working hard, that is the way to do it. And everybody goes through their challenges, ups and downs, and stand firm with resolve, aim high, and do not take the privilege of being an American for granted. Respect it. Respect the laws. And sky's the limit.
I'm with you. If you're not respecting laws, you got to get out of here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know why that's a hard concept to grasp for people.
I know. Yeah.
So that's what you just mean come here legally.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you do that? Like how does that happen? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people here, they come here as international students, and a lot of them, and do the undergrad degrees here and the masters and PhDs, and then some firm, and the ones who are usually here through that education-based process, they're great students back home too. So eventually they get hired by American firms, and then they go through the proper channel of permanent residency and citizenship and everything. It takes several years. So that would be one way, and there are other kind of opportunities as well, investment based. And President Trump talks about, I believe it's called the gold card or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you want to be an American, an entrepreneur in a different country, if you want to be an American, you can invest in the United States of America, create jobs here, be a part of the American process, in American culture, in Americanism, and you get American citizenship. And I'm sure there are a lot of other channels too. And America draws top talent from everywhere in the world. And I was listening to President Trump's interview the other day, and so he said, hey, we got to support that, and we got to get the best of the best here.
How do we keep them here? Because I've heard that they go back, come here, get education, learn a little bit, and then go back home.
Well, I'd say, a number of them go back, and a lot of them stay here too. I mean, again, I'll use the example of the CEOs of a lot of Fortune 500 companies. They were immigrant Americans, and they stayed here. They became an integral part of America's fabric, and they continue to contribute greatly to our economy, to our society, to our country.
Heck yeah. Okay, now I want to talk about, you have on here pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we, how are we putting that into government?
Sure. See, I believe that life itself is a miracle. It's a gift from God. And to me, it starts at conception. And I've been a strong advocate for pro-life for many years. In fact, when Lubbock became a sanctuary for the unborn, May 1st, 2021, that was the final voting day. I was a team captain for, Project Destiny and our pro-life movement on Milwaukee and 82nd and Frankfurt, in front of United. I was holding that Vote for Life sign. And that's how it needs to be, I believe, unless, as a pro-lifer, if the mom's life is in danger of having that child, then it should be allowed, aborting the child. Other than that, nobody has a right to kill an innocent life inside a mother.
I'm completely with you.
Right.
But does that take away your freedom?
Okay.
Or is it your freedom? Because I guess because it's a life.
Okay. So the life inside the mother's womb, does that life not have freedom?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So how different it is a life growing inside a mother with a heartbeat. How is it different? And people wanting to abort it, how is it that different than killing a regular person, murdering a regular person? And I have met people who are against it. They support abortion. And I'll share an example with you. The May 1st, 2021. So I was, we were there from like 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. So I was given, I was notified by our pro-life group a day in advance that goes, hey, can you volunteer tomorrow? It's from 8 to 2 and you have to get volunteers. Like in sets of, to do 2 hours each. So I was able to gather like 4 or 5 friends. But Roy, you'll be surprised. I had like 50, 60 volunteers from somewhere. And a lot of them were women who, when they were younger, they got abortion, and then they developed so many complications that they could no longer have a child. And a lot of them. And they shared stories with me when they had family members who did the same, and a lot of them died. I still believe it's the right of the mother. At the same time, it's the right of the child as well. Inside that mother. And this is spiritual. This has spiritual, along with it being moral, godly, and spiritual aspect to it.
It's complex.
It's sacred.
Yeah, I mean, you have it written on here is why I asked.
Right. No, that's if you saw my when I ran for mayor, I'll at some point, someday I'll share it with you. My logo starts with the, like a logo, pro-life logo of child in a mother's womb. And even like elect Gulrez Khan from mayor, it says on top of that says God is pro-life. So that's my belief, and I meet a lot of people who are against my views and they argue with me, but I stick with my conscience, my morals.
Yeah, man. This is one of the things internally I struggle with, because I do hold a lot of conservative values.
Right.
But then I get in the mix up of where's the freedom to choose how you live. You know what I mean? Which is why I asked, like, how is that freedom if we're telling them you can't do that?
Right. Well, hey.
And a lot of issues, too.
I see what you're saying, and during this campaign and farmer campaigns, I met a lot of people with those kind of questions. But again, it's 2 lives at that time.
Yeah, that's a whole different one.
Yeah, it's not their life only. It's 2 lives.
Because ultimately, if I want my elected officials and my government to leave me alone as much as possible. Right. I understand we have to have law and order and some rules.
Right.
Some laws, not rules. But I'm like, who's going to leave me the most alone? I think a lot of Americans want to be left alone.
Right, absolutely.
Well, I also think a lot of Americans want to be told what to do.
Right.
So it's, I guess that's what makes our country beautiful.
Absolutely,
All these just opinions and thoughts.
Right. We can, like in politics, we say we can agree on some things. We can agree to disagree on some things. As long as it's a healthy, respectful dialogue.
Yeah.
But again, I won't say arguments. People who usually flip they're abrupt in these kind of discussions are the ones who haven't researched much. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
So if they had researched and studied those respective topics more, one should have the ability to counter respectfully, dialogue respectfully, with the substantiating their claims or counterclaims with examples, with data. But that comes with knowledge.
Okay, and you said your foreign policy is peace with strength. Is that what you said?
Yes, that's, I've been a big Trump fan. One of the main reasons I jumped into actively in the political arena is when President Trump announced his candidacy earlier in 2015. So I read his book in 2005, Out of the Deal and Out of the Comeback. So Trump, he was, in the 1990s, he was $900 million in debt. So he made a comeback and became a billionaire. And not only billionaire, after that, he became our president twice.
He might have been the single greatest American that has ever lived.
Absolutely. So it's like a role model. I mean, and in the end of every book, they have their routine. So he sleeps at 1 a.m., wakes up at 5 a.m., like 7 days a week, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't even drink caffeine, actually. So I try to imitate as close as possible. And when he wakes up, he reads 4 newspapers and plays a lot of golf. So anyhow, so 2015 when he announced, so I'd been following him for a decade. And by the way, outside of the United States, I'm an 80s kid. Trump was always a big name. So the real estate mogul, tycoon of the world, he hosted the Miss Universe pageant. So everybody knows Trump for the last 45 years, globally.
The American.
Yes. He's been a celebrity. So we kind of looked up to him even then. So anyhow, when he took office for the first time, it was a turbulent environment in a lot of countries, including Middle East. So he was the champion of Abraham Accords. And even now, look how many countries, like 7 or 8, he has. He's been instrumental in sustaining peace in those conflicts. So basically, it's a continuation of his policy of peace through strength, where other countries do not take us for granted, like they did from 2020 through 24. I believe if we had not left Afghanistan that abruptly during Biden, which made America very weak, I think Putin took advantage of that, and he felt that if we attacked Ukraine, America would not do anything. That's what encouraged him. The way we left Afghanistan is what encouraged Putin to invade Ukraine in 2022. So we got to continue to keep ourselves strong militarily.
Yeah, we got to be number one.
Yes. Militarily, and Pete Hegseth and our whole cabinet, they're doing a great job. But at the same time, take this model of freedom and democracy and human rights everywhere wherever possible. And the conflicts which have been going on for years and decades in a lot of countries, we got to continue to be the negotiators in sustaining peace in those regions. Because a peaceful region leads to economic prosperity. And when there's economic prosperity, there's trade in those countries back and forth, let's say with the United States, with the right kind of tariffs imposed, that leads to peace in those nations.
Has the Ukraine-Russia thing, has it stopped?
Well, it has not stopped completely. We saw Zelensky, President Zelensky was here recently. He's been here multiple times. And President Trump also invited President Putin a few months ago. Our diplomatic channels are on. I see Secretary Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, making a huge effort to do whatever is there in his capacity to create peace there. It's in the process, and we see it, we follow it every day. The prayer is that there is peace. At the same time, we got to make sure Russia does not take advantage of Ukraine, and Russia does not take advantage of us. We have strategic allies in Europe, in Asia. We just need to continue to work with them to come up with a peaceful solution. My prayer is that it gets resolved soon.
Yep, that's what I want. Peace. I don't want no World War III.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
And I guess the same goes for Israel and Gaza. Well, they did have a peace deal, I thought.
Yes, and President Trump, again, he played a great role. And in fact, like a few days ago, the new president of Syria was here.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I saw that.
Yeah. So it has never happened.
I don't care what people say about Trump. He is a funny dude. That is a funny man.
Yeah.
He's a very funny man.
Oh, yeah.
I heard yeah.
I also believe it's I draw a lot of inspiration from him. Like, look at the resolve. How can you be almost $1 billion in debt and then make a comeback? I think his the book he wrote justifies his own life, The Art of the Comeback. It's just a phenomenal example of resilience, resolve, comeback, and being a great patriot of his country.
I believe it.
Yeah.
You had mentioned AI earlier, or did we? Can we talk about AI?
Yeah.
What's I had heard the issue with AI is that a big issue with AI is those data centers use up a lot of water.
Right.
And they're coming here in our backyard, I believe in Abilene, using up a lot of water. So what's going on? Is AI, it's already here, right? We have to implement into our lives.
See,
it's money, I get it.
See, we are America's number one country. One of the main reasons is we are, way advanced in technology as well. Look at our satellites, aircrafts, war machinery. It's technology. So we have to stay at pace with where the world is going. And AI is the next generation. I want America to be the number one in production of microchips, semiconductors. For long, people have relied on Taiwan. So again, under Trump's America First policy, we need to be number one there as well. When I went to Washington, D.C. During President Trump's inauguration, I met the Dubai billionaire, Hussein Sajwani. So he has invested $20 billion in the United States to develop AI data centers. How I see that is it, so all the aspects, be it medicine, science, technology, space race, AI is the future, the next generation. So I see it as a great tool to sustain America's number one position, technological advancement, need of the hour for decades to come, and creating more jobs and economic prosperity in our state of Texas and in our nation. I see it that way. When I read about, for example, our region, Senate District 28, our House District 83 and 84, Dustin Burrows, Carl Tepper, Senator Perry, they're doing a great job. And, recently, Senator Perry, I believe there was some bill which secures water for us for like several years. So I'd say wherever we have conservative leaders locally and regionally within our state, and I would assume the same kind of leadership, conservative Republican leaderships in other states, they'll be able to take care of the water situation like we have here in West Texas.
Gotcha. But we need it. It's the next step, right? We have to win this race.
Absolutely. We don't want to be dependent on any other country.
Did they move a semiconductor? Are they trying to do that here in Arizona?
I know of it. I have not read all the details about it. But I can assure you, I mean, I've been how
many hours a day do you read?
I try to stay at pace. I want to, if I have not read much during the weekdays, I try to catch up on the weekends. I really like reading Lubbock Avalanche Journal, Wall Street Journal, and then I have a subscription to one of the magazines, monthly subscription to magazines on foreign policy. But I'm not where I'd like to be as far as reading goes, because I got a business to run. I got to pay my bills. But I can assure you, I was saying that I'm a former pro athlete. I played on India's Pro Cricket Tour, and I also played in Texas, actually, North Texas Premier League in cricket, Pro League, 2010-11. So I'm very competitive. So if I'm blessed enough to be United States Senator, I'll make sure Texas leads in AI.
You heard it here. So before we get you out of here, I want to ask you about cricket. Does it go on for days?
See, there are various formats. So cricket started in like 1700s in Britain, and then it's very predominant in South Asia, especially India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and a few other countries play it too. England, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. It's so that subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, the 3-4 countries combined are over like 2 billion, 3 billion people. They all watch cricket. It's bigger than NFL, by the way. The viewership, it's not as big as NFL, but the viewership, because those those countries are thickly populated. So now, life is fast-paced. So until you can say 1990s, so there's a one-day cricket, so the game is over in 8 hours. And there is test cricket, which is 5 days, 2 innings in 5 days. Okay? But the past 15 years or so, another trend has taken over, which is called 2020, T20. 20 means, so each time you pitch, 6 pitches make an over. So each side plays 20 overs. That's like the game is over in 3 hours, 3-4 hours. So that's predominant right now, and that's pretty famous. That's the traditional form, 5-day test cricket, but that's a lot. But people don't have time to watch it these days.
I always wanted. That's one thing I want to do is go to India and watch a cricket match over there.
Sure, yeah. I mean, let me know whenever you want to go next. You can come with me.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah, last time I was there was 2022.
How long is the flight?
From it's like if you combine all the not the layovers but just the flying time, I believe it's 22 hours.
Well, yeah. Longest I've been in a plane's 12. So
Right.
yeah. You a baseball fan?
I like to watch it every now and then. I watch a lot of. I follow football more.
Okay.
Congratulations to Texas Tech.
I was about to say, being from around here, trying to get votes.
Yeah.
Rackham Tech.
Absolutely. All my years in the United States, I've been blessed to live in our great city of Lubbock. So I'm a Red Raider by heart and soul.
Cool.
And I also believe, with my background in sports and getting all these opportunities right now, I'm of the firm belief that one day Texas Tech football will win the national championship.
Well, could be this year.
Could be this year. I won't be surprised. We almost won in basketball a few years ago.
Yeah, that was
We
crazy.
were second. Yeah. So Texas Tech has produced some world champions.
We almost won in softball this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So our city has great potential in everything.
It's thriving, I think.
Right.
It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You like the wind out here? The flatness?
I really like it.
I've come to enjoy it.
Yeah, I like the flat plains. I like our, cotton fields.
Yeah.
I'm a country guy at heart. I come from northwest part of India. It's almost the same latitude as West Texas.
Oh, okay.
It's the state of Punjab in India. And my grandparents, they were small business owners, farmers, and same kind of dry heat and cold winters. So I'm used to it. I've never felt that I was anywhere outside. Yeah. In fact, if I've traveled a lot in some big cities, then I start missing our flat plains.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Got to come back. Oh, man,
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Yeah. And, even the people, by and large, all of us in West Texas, or rural Texas, we have farming background. And people with farming background are like land. They're very humble. That's what I like about Texas and West Texas, our West Texas people in general. They're very, very humble. Yeah.
Well, heck yeah, man. Voting is March 3rd, 2026.
Yes. Early voting starts February 17th, 2026. It goes through February 27th, 2026. And like Roy, you said, election day is March 3rd, 2026. So I would really appreciate everybody's prayers, their support, and their vote. And they can go to my website. It's gcon at gconforsenate.com. And I have my pages on social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even TikTok.
Nice.
And then Truth Social. Truth Social.
I was
Yeah.
I was going to mention that.
And my email is gcon at gconforsenate.com. And I'd be happy to share my direct cell number. I usually don't put it on my flyer.
Sure.
Yeah. So area code 806-781-0646. Again, it's 806-781-0646. And also I'll mention my campaign manager. She's undergrad student at Texas Tech, Emma Neely. So she's been a great help. And my friend Anthony Brocato, he's a special advisor to my campaign. He's one of our new precinct chairs. And I will be Kelly Scalpati. Formerly, she was with the Turning Point USA Texas Tech chapter. She'll be my social media manager.
There we go. Also, Kevin Allen for inviting me out where I met you.
Well, I must thank Kevin for being instrumental all along. And Kevin has been a friend for a while now, and we discuss a lot on healthcare policy because he has been instrumental in healthcare initiative as well, especially when it comes to pulmonology. And we have plans to sit with some of the subject matter experts, some of the physicians he's told me about. So I must thank him for making this possible. And the other day he introduced me to you, and
that was nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully you're not too busy, and maybe January we'll get you back on here.
It'll be my honor to come here.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, we'll do it again, but check out all his social medias, and like you said, do your research, read knowledge,
Absolutely.
learn more. Being a freaking American, man. Come on now.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, man.